to the review. Manchester United have beaten Spurs 2-0 at Old Trafford. Bruno Fernandes and Fred with the goals. 28 shots, 10 on target, 8 corners. A dominant display from Manchester United from start to finish, which is so refreshing. That's the best full 90 minutes I have seen from United in a good few years. I'm not even joking. He's outdone Conte, he's outdone Klopp, he's outdone Arteta in big games. So super impressed with Ten Hag, the way he set up tactically. Talk to me about the performance, lads. Adam, I'll go to you first. Welcome, first and foremost to Sam and Adam. But yeah, Adam, I'm just excited. Sorry, talk to me about that performance, please.
I'm just absolutely buzzing. Not gonna lie, before the game, I was feeling a bit nervous. I thought they were gonna sit back, hit us on the counter, but we shut down everything that they had to offer. We, as you pointed out, a full dominant 90 minutes, and I haven't seen that from United in a long, long time. I think the only kind of time we done that was against Ammonia, maybe at Old Trafford it was, but that took till the 98th minute to score. Thankfully, it didn't take that long today. And I just got to say, like, what is Fred on? We really, I think he needs that doping test. What happened today?
Some EPO in his fucking bloodstream, man. I don't know what's going on.
It's crazy, but I I wasn't expecting much going in. I said I would have taken a draw, and if you could walk away with maybe 2 points in these next 2 games. But here we are with 3 points already on the board. It felt like it was a must-win game, but I would have taken a draw. But here we are. As I said, 3 points on the board. We're kind of gaining a bit of momentum now after a bit of a slump after City, Newcastle, and that. But we're back in the kind of driving race now, and I think it's important that we kept that gap between us and Liverpool as well after they beat West Ham tonight. So
Yeah.
I'm absolutely over the moon about it.
And the first 45 minutes, Sam, I remember you saying you was obviously in the on a live stream, in the comment section, and you were saying first 45 minutes that the fact that we didn't put one away, we created so many chances. I think I wrote a note down: 6 shots, 2 on target. That was in the first 10 minutes, and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Creating so many fucking chances. Rashford missing some, Fred missing some, getting frustrated. You felt like it could have been potentially one of them nights in it where you just create, Tottenham on your counter, you lose 1-0, and then you go on with, egg on your face.
Yeah, I felt like that was what was going to happen. It felt like ammonia all over again, but we had way more quality of chance. The opportunities that we made were way bigger and should have scored arguably about 3 in the first half. I counted at least. Rashford seemed like he was on it. He's just finishing, let him down at times, but everything else came together really, really well. Fred, like Adam touched on, was unbelievable. He's found his Brazilian passport again. Bruno, absolutely fantastic. That was a captain's performance. That's the kind of thing you want to see from Bruno week in, week out. Absolutely phenomenal. Gutted he didn't get to have the third goal, but it is what it is. But yeah, like Adam touched on, that 90 minutes was the first time I've watched United have complete control over a game in... I can't remember. Like Louis van Gaal, maybe. That's probably the last time I've seen us do that. And we did, when we had Louis van Gaal at control, we didn't do fuck all with it. So, but yeah, absolutely amazing to see. It's a shame that we only ended up with 2. I think we could have scored a hell of a ton. I think Spurs maybe had one opportunity in the second half. I think it was Harry Kane and David De Gea with a good save. I think that was it.
Offside too,
and it was offside anyway. But like, they did nothing. They had nothing to offer, no attack, no threat, nothing. I was not worried about our defence at any point during that game. Did not worry me.
And do you know what, Sam? I think a big part of that was the Sancho and Varane as well, because they kept quiet. Like, Son and Kane are hard players to keep quiet. The world class, especially together. They were the big talking point pretty much for a lot of the preview. It was like Kane and Son on that transition in behind. I thought Varane and Sancho, they just know when to press at the right times. They know when to go close. They know when to drop off. And each switch at times at a perfect kind of, like, they just look like they're in sync. They complement each other so well. And it's just so much more confidence watching them than watching Harry Maguire and Lindelof. Because them two together, I don't mind Lindelof. Third choice. No, I don't mind him as a squad player. But them two together against Kane and Son, tonight, I think it would have been a completely different game. So
Yeah.
I think everything starts off from your platform. If your two centre backs are solid as rocks and they fill the rest of the team with confidence, there's your platform to go play off then. I thought the wing backs in particular as well, linking up. Luke Shaw and Sancho seem to have that connection on the left hand side. Sorry about that, Adam. Diego Dallo and Antony on the right hand side had a great connection. It seems like something's coming here, doesn't it, Adam? Something's kind of, do you know what I mean? The Ten Hag effect.
And
Like we always talk about spells that he's had 10-minute spells, 15-minute spells, but a full 90-minute display today. And the defense I thought was really good, even though they might not get the credit because of obviously the goals that they scored.
Something's coming that it's not Adam over Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Take that, Shaw.
Yeah.
Well, the night is still young, boys. Let's keep
it's
that
very
in mind.
true. It's very true.
It's also Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep. Still the rest of the week, but yeah, I thought total control for the 90 minutes. I think it's what we've been waiting for a while, especially against the top side. I can't remember us actually playing from the back like this. Lisandro, honestly, on the ball is. I don't think I've seen a calmer centre half on the ball in terms of like
He's so
running with
good.
the ball, passing between the lines. He just ticks everything. I'm so happy we went for him instead of Timber. He's the perfect ball playing centre half. And he just has that warrior mentality as well that we've been missing.
Nick's gonna dine out. Nick's gonna dine out on this scouting thing that he did on him for years, isn't he? He's actually he's just gonna dine out on it for years.
But I'm glad you mentioned it. Yeah. I'm glad you picked up on it. Look, I will take it. The guy is fucking. I love him, man. Honestly, not just because of that, but just in general. He's been so good. The spirit that he brings, the energy. Like you saw him at the end of the game. They all went over him. And he was like, well done you, blah, blah, blah. He is the captain as well. He's the captain in that team. He just doesn't wear the armband. Moving on to midfield, I want to talk about Casemiro because I am still slightly worried about Casemiro. He did some really good things, was breaking up play really well. Being that anchor for the midfield, so Fred and Bruno can both push up high. But there's some passes that he was making. There was about 3, 4, 5 passes he made that just went wayward. And if Tottenham were on it like they usually are with Kane and Son, we could have been punished very early on and it could have been a very different game. How would you assess Casemiro at the minute, Sam? Is still some slight concerns there for you?
Yeah, shout out. There's 14 people in the chat, and nobody's talking. So get your comments in the chat, man, and we'll read them out. Let us know how you feel. Yeah, I think, again, Casemiro had some really good stuff he did. Some of the passing that, like Adam was talking about, the Sancho's passing, but some of Casemiro's passing was absolutely fantastic as well. Even Fred was fucking passing well, which is shock. But yeah, and then obviously there was a couple that have gone astray. Again, I still think he's adapting to the pace and the physicality and the lack of time you get in the Premier League on the ball. When he was in La Liga for Real Madrid, he had Cruz and Modric next to him. And he got all the time in the world on the ball because it's not an intense league. There's not many La Liga teams play with an intense press or a high press. It doesn't happen as much in La Liga. So I think he's still adapting, and I think he panics a little bit and he thinks, "Oh, I need to get rid of this," and he'll end up making a mistake or something like that. But I just think it'll come with time. I think over time, we'll see him. The mistakes will be ironed out of his game. He'll adapt, and then you'll see the world-class Casemiro that we've seen. I don't think it's going to take time. And obviously, the quality that he brings, besides the little tiny mistakes, is yards above what we had previously. Shout out to Zoe's Media's House in the chat. Great game. Best performance under Ten Hag so far. Agreed. My girlfriend's in the chat. Wish I was at the game. Well, I did offer you tickets, babe, and then you said you were too tired, so I did offer you. But yeah, so do I, babe. So do I.
Yeah. What about yourself, Adam? Anything concerning with your Casemiro, or happy with the performance today?
Feels like it's a Brazilian kind of midfielder thing to actually simultaneously play really well and also play quite bad.
Must be in the genetics. I don't think Anthony's got it, but Fred and Casemiro have definitely got it.
I think I phrased it as the good, the bad, and the ugly. It can be at times with them, especially in the passing. But one thing I really liked, especially about Casemiro, was just like whenever was a Bentancur and Højbjerg, he completely like took Højbjerg out of the game, I never noticed him at all. And he just kept winning the ball off him, breaking the play up, and passing it then to either Bruno or Fred. And then Fred actually made a good few passes that were actually quite good, but then again, he also made a few,
Yeah.
as Gattuso would say, sometimes very good, sometimes very shit.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
That's
Literally,
that's
got
what
some of-
that's what Fred needs to put on his shirt, doesn't he? Sometimes very good,
Yeah.
sometimes very
the
bad.
Yeah. I was going to touch on Fred. Hot and cold today. He was absolutely fucking scorching for whatever reason. Honestly, Sam's analogy of Fred was so fucking good. It's so bang on there because watch him against Brighton. Please, anyone, just go back, watch that game, Fred against Brighton, and watch him today. It's different players. You would think he had a twin. One plays when that one against Brighton was his shitter brother, and today he's turned up and he was fucking fantastic. I don't understand it. I've got some of his stats here in front of me. So accurate passes were 78%, which isn't amazing. But long balls 3 out of 7, dribbles successful dribbles 2 out of 2, ground duels 4 out of 8, possession lost 15 times, tackles 2, interceptions 2, clearances 2, dribbled past once. It's just everywhere, isn't it? His stats are absolutely everywhere.
What was the? It was a tweet. I think it was from Laurie Whitwell when we played. Who did we play at the weekend? Shit.
Newcastle.
He put in Fred with a bunch of stats. Chaotically creative. That's how he described Fred. That's pretty much how I would describe Fred. Chaotically creative. You look at him and it's just like a tornado, just tear assing through the midfield, and he'll pick up houses and tear them apart. But then occasionally he'll just like knock a ball out at the same time. It's just it's mental.
Have any of you seen Project X?
Yeah,
the party film.
Yeah.
Do you know when he let the midget out of the oven and he starts punching everyone? That's what I feel like they just let Fred out of like a box and just go attack everyone. And he's like, yeah. And he runs onto the pitch and then you don't quite know what you're going to get from it. It could be great or it could be, do you know what I mean? You never know. He's literally, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get with him.
Nick, I was going to say he's like a dog in heat. He was on every player's back.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. And the midfield was so concerning going into it because we're looking at Bentancur, Højbjerg and Basuma as a midfield three. You're like, that is tough. Like, that is physical. And we dominated him with Fred, Casemiro and Bruno. And Fred and Bruno aren't necessarily, on the physical side. They're quite, small dudes, like physically as well.
We were
super
panicking.
impressed.
We were
Without
panicking.
our player of the year. Without our player of the year.
Yeah. We were panicking about Eriksen. And it was like, oh, what are we going to do this midfield? And we like Nick said, we dominated them. Absolutely dominated them.
And people were saying at half time, I don't know if it was yourselves or other people who was in the chat, and he was saying, would you bring on Eriksen now? Would you bring on this guy? I was like, no, Fred's playing well.
Yep.
Fred's playing really well. And then he went and scored literally within the first minute. I was like, I wouldn't have taken him. I'd wait until the 70th and then see what's what. Anthony. Speak about Anthony as well. Again, I thought he was really good. I thought he was switching up his play a little bit, holding that width. That is a main tactical thing that I look at that is so much more beneficial for us. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, shut down that left-hand side, you nullify most of our attack, to be honest, bar Bruno Fernandes. Anthony's come on that right-hand side now, and it's another threat to deal with. It's another thing to worry about, because everyone gets sucked over to where Sancho, Shaw, Bruno Fernandes are all linking up triangles, and then Anthony just stays there. He's like, I'll wait. It's fine. I'll wait. 1v1 versus a left-back, whoever it was, if it was Perisic or if it was Ben Davis, who got turned over loads of times. He had a great effort on goal, hit the post, and just skimmed the post. Do you think he's going to live up? Obviously, it's still relatively early, but do you think he's going to live up to that price tag? It was very expensive, but are you happy, I suppose, is the question with him so far?
Nick, I think I said it in the live chat. I thought it was his best game for us so far in terms of overall, like with the ball, on the ball. Yeah. I know he didn't get a goal today. Could have easily got one. But the more I look at him, and I know I'm kind of might be getting carried away, his play style is so similar to Iron Robin, especially when he dribbled. I think he was being hunted down at one point in the first half by 3 Tottenham
and
players,
he turned him,
and he turned them all.
Yeah,
and I know he kind of messed it up the latter bit, but he actually got out of the tree and he ended up leaving them in the dust behind them.
Yep.
He has pace, he has skill, he is an absolute rocket of a left foot, as we all know. And defenders know what he's going to do, but it's so hard to defend against it. And that's
Yeah.
why Iron Robin was such a success, and I think it's why he can be a success too. He currently doesn't have that much competition on the right, but he hasn't had a reason to be dropped, or he just keeps putting in solid performances. He hasn't
Ten,
had a very, very bad performance like the likes of Sancho, Rashford, or anybody else Ronaldo has
Consistent,
had
and
yet. He's
Ten
been
Hag,
consistent, yeah, and that's
Ten,
the keyword.
Ten Hag has said as well, there's more to come from him. He can develop his game. He's still young. What is he, 21, 22? So, and Ten Hag said, yeah, we know what he could do. We know what he's good at, but he's developing that other side of his game. He's developing these other intricacies and these other things. So he's only going to get better, especially under a manager like Ten Hag. Like Ten Hag will develop that and extract that talent out of him, like he's seen you do with every other player that he's brought in. Every player he's brought in has worked. Every single one of them. Not a single flop, not a single dud, because he knows exactly what he's looking for. He knows exactly the sort of players that fit his system and how they're prepared to work hard and how they're prepared to put into his system and believe in what he does. And Anthony is just a pure example of that.
Amen to that. I think rightfully so. You'd associate Anthony with the skill, with the shots that he puts in, with the crosses, but he's get back. Whereas he was like putting in everything to get back, and the Sancho brings the same qualities. And I feel United really needed that, especially after last season. The mentality was absolutely shattered and broken. And we look, there's still progress to be made. There's still going to be bumps ups and down the road, and but it's looking good. It's getting better and better every time I see him. Newcastle was a bump in the road, but our last 8 games now, we've won 6, drew 1, lost 1, I think. And you've got Arsenal in there, you've got Liverpool in there, and you've got Tottenham in there as well. The only game we've lost is to Manchester City, who's arguably the best team in the world right now. So yeah, looking good. Do we touch on Rashford or do we touch on Sancho? I'll go to Sancho because not a sparkling performance. I thought he was better than the performance before that, but still, I still want more from him. When I watch Anthony play, I'm like, I want to see that from you. If you did that, the threat on both sides, then you're causing damage consistently. You're having constant waves, but he's still little things from Sancho, and physically, I'm a little bit worried about him. I think he struggles.
He's
a little bit.
doing what I said, like what got him kicked out of the team last time. He's getting the ball, he's going the thing, and instead of like either dribbling or taking on a player or having a look at his thing, he's turning and passing instead of doing what he's good at. It's like the confidence has been sort of shaken out of him to do the stuff that he's really good at. I know he can do it because I saw him do it for Dortmund for 2 fucking years. I know he can do it. We've seen glimpses of it at United, but he's never fully pulled the trigger on it or like proper just committed to it. And I don't understand what it is. He just seems to not want to do it. Like he just gets it, and then he gets to like the byline or he gets to the defender. Instead of thinking in his head, "Oh, I'm gonna beat this guy," he goes, "Right, I'll turn and then pass it to Bruno or I'll pass it to whoever is like to the right of him." And it's frustrating because I know the talent's there. He's a good player, like, and I just don't understand why he's not got the confidence in himself. Shout out, there's 25 people in chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Put your comments as well. That chat is not moving fast enough for my liking, so get your comments in.
Yeah, let us know your man of the match. Talk to us, guys. Let us know your thoughts. I'm really interested. I like interacting. Well, we like interacting with people who join. Yeah. So, don't be afraid to throw your opinion in there. If you thought someone played shit, let us know. If you thought someone played really well, also let us know. The last player I want to touch on who started. Go on, sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Adam. Go on.
I was just telling the chat as well, let us know how everyone thought of Sancho. Sam picked up on the point. He kept passing it back either to Luke Shaw or Bruno on that side. But one thing I noticed was when he actually did dribble in the box, he got a lot of touches. And I've said it, I think, in the last show as well, that he's probably our best player in terms of controlling the ball in the box. And we don't see that enough, so he needs to do that a lot more. He's missing just that killer pass as well. So just working those bits of the game, but it looks like he has, especially since the City game, because I thought that was a bit of a low. He's shown a bit of improvement, so we got to see. I don't think he had a very, very bad game, but I don't think he had a great game either. But look, we move on anyway. Hopefully, the next one he'll play a bit better.
One last thing I'll say on Jadon Sancho is I think what doesn't help, Sancho is a guy who needs relationships on the pitch and he needs connections. And I think the more he plays with Luke Shaw at left back and the more he plays with a striker who plays there consistently, like it's either Ronaldo or Rashford or, you know what I mean, it could be Martial. There's no consistency there. Anthony now always has Dalot behind him. You know, you've got Casemiro, who's always playing with Bruno and normally Eriksen. You get Varane always plays with Sancho. Sancho needs that now. He needs it to work on patterns on the pitch and develop that relationship. And that's his whole game. If the pieces of the puzzle move around him, we've always said that he can start to work his magic then. And yeah, I think it'll come. I think it'll come. Just needs a little bit more work in training and a little bit more work physically, I'd say, and he'll get there. The last player I want to touch on who started, Marcus Rashford, was a debating topic before we went into the game, talking about Spurs with a back five. Why is he playing Rashford? Why is he not playing Ronaldo? Because he'll get crossed into the box, etc., etc. I thought he played really well. I thought he did things off the ball really well, and you can see why Ten Hag said before it. He played him for the pressing off the ball, and the stretching of the play when you need to get in behind. He did that really well, but he just didn't finish, did he, Sam?
Nah, his finishing is what's let him down the last few games. I think, again, like you said, he's got into some good positions. His off the ball works really, really good. His runs behind, I thought he made some really good runs behind, especially the Tottenham centre backs. He made some like fantastic runs, but yeah, and then he was the ball found him, but he couldn't finish. I think a couple of shots, he seems to smash him right down the middle, and then the Rashford of old, when he had this sort of outbreak season with Martial, he'd always stick him in a corner. He'd hit it across the goal into the far corner, and he'd stick it away. Every single time you knew if Rashford was running onto that ball, it's going in the opposite corner, and he's scoring.
Yeah.
And he seems to be not able to do that quite yet. He did try it. I think he had one chance in the game where he did put it across the goal, but he ended up going wide, I think. And then the other two times, he sort of hit it straight at the keeper. And now Lloris, I think on the third one, did make a good save, but arguably as a striker, you should be putting it either side with the goalkeeper. You shouldn't be hitting it straight at him, making it easier for him to make that save. Put it either side of him, he's really got to work for it, and then you've got more chance of scoring a goal. So I think if he works on his finishing and make sure he gets that down, I think he could be really dangerous and score a shit ton of goals. It's just his finishing is letting him down right now. Everything else is coming together, but his finishing's not quite there. But if he sorts that out, who knows?
I fully agree with that. I have to say, I fully agree with that. Adam, your assessment of Rashford, what do you think? Talk to me.
Yeah, I think Sam covered a lot of it. He just needs to work on his finishing. He has the pace. I see why Ten Hag is starting him over Ronaldo. It's clear, pressing from the front line. We done it really, really well. The front three actually done it really well, including Sancho, who I know isn't blessed with pace, but I thought he'd done the job well. But Rashford, he gets into the right spot, and I don't know what it is. He just keeps hitting it with power near the goalkeeper, making it very, very easy for the keeper to save. And as someone who's played in goals as well, you'd prefer he's shooting them in the position that is easiest for the keeper to save. He should be aiming for the corner, because particularly that chance in the first half, it's one that kind of sticks with me. He'd be finding the top corner or the edge of the net. He will be more often or not he used to be in the past. But we haven't seen that for a while. But there's clear and obvious signs of improvement from last year. That's the one thing that, like, I know we get on his back a lot, but it's one thing he has actually worked on. So that's actually refreshing to see. But I think if he just puts his head down, work on his finishing. I was going to say, like, learn a thing or two off Ronaldo, but I don't think Ronaldo's finishing has been the best this season too.
Well,
but,
you've given me the perfect segue there. It has to be spoken about. Cristiano Ronaldo walks down the tunnel earlier. I said in the watch along, look, if Anthony Martial does that, exact same thing what Ronaldo's done when he's, whether he's played a couple of games for us, whatever, he gets absolutely slaughtered by everyone. There's going to be people coming out now who are just Ronaldo fans, even over United, who are just like absolutely back into the hills. And I get it, I understand it. He's the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Maybe not Sophia's. Him walking out in the, what was it, the 88th minute, something like that. 89th minute, right? To, like, just stay and support your team. Your team's just put in a phenomenal performance, the best performance we've seen for a while, maybe years. And he walks out in the 88th minute, and he absolutely knows that the attention's going to be taken away from that performance, and it's all going to be on it. You know, tomorrow when we wake up, when we do that news post, Sam, you know it's going to be about Ronaldo.
I know.
He walked out because of this, he's done that, and he actually got asked about it by the punditry team with Amazon, and he said, "Listen, I'll deal with that tomorrow. Today we celebrate this victory," and he just left it at that. That was it. So just give me your thoughts. I want to pluck a few thoughts from you from about Ronaldo. And
First thing, shout out. There's 33 people in the chat. Absolutely ridiculous. Thank you so much for the support.
talk to us about Ronaldo.
Yeah,
Let us know.
Well,
what you
there's a
what
couple
you think.
there's a couple of comments I'll read out about Ronaldo. Mateus Schubert, sorry. Disrespect on Ronaldo is horrible. Last year's top scorer carried the team on his backs. Interesting. Zoe's Media House. Ronaldo proved he's a real bitch for walking off. Harsh words from Zoe's Media House right there. Wow.
A real bitch.
Yeah, Mateus anti-Martial is not Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano is a legend of the club. Again, everybody's
Doesn't mean you can get away with murder.
Everybody's entitled to opinion, but look, I don't want to spend too much time on Ronaldo because we had such a positive performance, and I want to talk about Bruno as well because I think he deserves a lot of praise. And I want to talk about Dallo and all these other players. Like, I think they deserve their time in the spotlight. What we'll say about Ronaldo is, whether you're Cristiano Ronaldo or whether you're Anthony Elanga, if your team's playing and you're on the bench, you stay to the end of the game. Full whistle, you stay, and then at the end you go over and you clap the fans or you say thank you, whatever you need to, whatever it is, go do that. That's what you do as a professional footballer. A, you get paid enough to do it, so just fucking sit there and watch it. B, it's respectful to your teammates, to your manager, to the fans, to the opposition team as well. Let's not forget Tottenham there as well. Respect to all of them. You need to sit there, and you might be the greatest player of all time, but that doesn't excuse you from respecting the game that's provided you the platform to become the greatest player, to do the things that you've been able to do. And yeah, and I think if anybody's saying, "Oh, Ronaldo's all right to do this," or "He's the GOAT, he can do this," it doesn't matter. You're a player. A player is a player. Like, you respect the manager first of all, and you respect the fans after that. And if Ten Hag punishes him by dropping him or whatever it is, I agree with it fully. He needs to be.
Yeah, because it's about the team.
Yeah,
it's about the team.
It's giving people like me who I think Ronaldo should leave, because not just for himself, because he clearly doesn't want to be here, but for United as a team to evolve, because I think we're worse off with him in the team, the way we play and stuff like that. And we're going to touch on Bruno in a minute. I think Bruno is way better when Ronaldo's not in the team. I think he's more like, he goes up 3 levels when Ronaldo's not in the team, and today's a proof of that. So yeah, for me, I hope he's punished for it. I hope he's there. I don't think Ronaldo particularly gives a shit, to be honest with you. I don't think he cares. Like, you can fine him all you want, he's not going to give a toss, is he? And the sooner we can find a solution to either get him to go to wherever he wants to go, or get him to stop acting out like this, because let's not forget, this is not the first time he did it. He walked out when he was up in the stands with the other players, didn't he? During the pre-season game. So let's not forget, this is not the first time he's acted out. So yeah, let's find a solution for this, because I don't want to talk about this, and I don't want this to be the headline on our Instagram page tomorrow. We should be talking about how good this performance was, not talking about this. But sorry, I've gone on too long there.
No, it's fine. Look, Adam, just touch on Ronaldo for us if you can, and then we'll get into the ratings and stuff.
Yeah, I know it might seem a bit harsh even saying this, but it's like he hasn't had that media attention on him, and he knows this is what will get the media attention on him. And any press is go press, as to say. I just don't understand it. You're there on the bench, okay? You're not happy here on the subs bench, whatever. You're there for 88 minutes. What's the difference in staying another 2-3 minutes? Yeah, that's what annoys me a lot. And he knows it'll get attention. He's done it in the past in preseason. He knew the manager didn't like it, and that could have fed into him maybe not, playing as much at the start of the season. We don't know, and there was other factors as well. But one thing I did notice as well, when the cameras did go on the bench at one point, he's right in front of the manager too. So he would have just stood up and walked out, and Ten Hag probably was at one point just like, "What are you doing?"
Mm.
And he wouldn't have looked back at him too. He just would have went down the tunnel. It's just disrespectful, I find it. And you applaud your teammates. They've just put in the best probably 90 minutes of the season. And okay, you're not happy that you weren't a part of it, whatever. But acknowledge other people's hard work as well. That's the annoying thing. Like you don't want everything to just be self-centered around yourself. It's a team game at the end of the day, and you're part of this team. If you whether you like it or not, right now your contract is saying you're a part of this team, so you get behind the team. You cheer them on till the full-time whistle. You don't walk out early like that. It's just pure disrespectful. I didn't really like it, if I'm being honest.
If we get battered in that game, 3-0, 4-0, you watch him leave in the 88th minute, it kind of makes sense, especially if the striker's put in a stinker and he's missed, he's been absolutely shocking. I understand it, but it makes, I don't understand it, but I understand it slightly more, that the reason why you've left, you're frustrated, you think you should have started. The reason why he got to dance in the first place and why he's one of the best players in the world is because he believes he's the best player in the world and he should be playing every single minute. But the reality is, right now, physically, he is not up to the demand in the way Ten Hag wants to play. He hasn't got the mobility. He hasn't got the fitness. It's not there. It's proof. We've seen it enough times. Out there, he can play a bit part for us. And if you really love the club, yeah, we are. I think what Devo said, the Tottenham fan we had on yesterday, shout out Devo, made a really good point about Cristiano when we asked him about him. And it was like, we shouldn't have signed him in the first place. He was signed so he wouldn't go to Man City. All he was kind of like, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. Then when we were bringing him, he hinders the team because you have to build a team around him. We didn't have a team to put around him, basically, because he was playing counter-attacking football a lot of the times. Like, there's so many, when you weigh up with pros and cons, ultimately, there's too many cons. There's too many cons with Ronaldo. I know he scored 20 plus goals last season, but the team is so much better this season now without him in it, and that's just facts.
It's a good point from Zoe's Media House in the chat. A lot of praise got to go to Ten Hag for how he's dealt with Ronaldo. Agreed. Totally agree.
Yeah. With everything, with the media in general, he's been solid, absolutely solid. Yeah,
And
just
that's
one
why I'm
last
so
point.
confident he's the right man to get us back on top.
Oh, you said it. You said it in fucking, was it April? Something like that. He was screaming for Ten Hag from the roofs. Yeah. So I'm still waiting for that bald cap, actually, Adam. I'm still waiting for that. Yeah.
I gotta get that yet.
You gotta get it. You gotta get it. I bet Aaron's filled in for you. Don't worry about it. He's got a 10 Hag haircut, so he'll be all right. Yeah, the team in general today, lads. There's a lot of individual performances that were great, but I thought the way we pressed, the way the wingers and the wing backs connected, the midfield was structured really well. The two centre backs held the line, held their own against two of the best attackers in the league, and as a collective, we were fantastic. That's all I've got to say about the team. Unreal.
De Gea's distribution was decent as well. Yeah. Had some really good passing. I think he made one save the entire game. So yeah, even De Gea.
And with that being said, let's start off with the Gea rating system. Give me a rating, Adam.
Probably just give him 6.5. Like, he didn't have much to do. Distribution was good. I average at a 6. I do. That sounds bad, but no. But
is that for Luke Shaw's reference for later? Is that...
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. He averages for Luke Shaw. I best believe that.
No, but as you said, I give him a 6.5. Simply down to the 0.5 above the 6 for I noticed him sweeping once or twice, and the distribution was a bit better. So he's showing signs of improvement anyway, and that's what we've been asking for quite a while. We've also played a bit of a higher line today. It's one thing I noticed. We were winning the ball back a lot inside their half rather than just on the edge of our own. So yeah, it must be a thing that he's kind of getting drilled into him now to kind of try and sweep more.
Absolutely. Would you agree with that assessment, Sam?
Yeah, I'd give him a 7 because I think I would have had a 6.5 for him, but he made that save against Kane. Because if Kane scores that, obviously he was offside, but you don't know that at that time.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make that save, it's 1-1, isn't it? And then where's the game go after that? Like, our confidence isn't that solid yet. It's still a bit shaky.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a good save. So I'd give him a 7 just because he made that save. Because he had literally nothing to do the entire game. So it's not like he'd warmed up by making a bunch of saves. So I think, yeah, great.
I mean, I'm in a good mood. We just won, so I'll probably give him a 7. I don't mind. It might be the Moretti talking. Fuck knows. Right back, Diego Dallo, 6.5. I'll throw out there. I don't think anyone gets below a 6 today. I thought most people were really good. Dallo, 6.5. Wasn't absolutely incredible, but linked up with Anthony really nice. Did his defensive duties relatively well, so nothing more to say on Dallo for me.
I think kind of looking at it, like who was he up against that much? I know they play kind of two strikers rather than Son out in the wings, so he
or
didn't.
Perisic, I would say.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, there was I think one point where in the first half I remember where the ball went out to Perisic, and I think he shut it down really, really well, and he actually won the goal kick from it.
Yeah.
So I thought he'd done his job quite well today. So I'd probably give him the 6.5 as well. Simply down to and give him the highest 6.5. He done his job, done everything. He didn't do anything wrong. Didn't do necessarily anything overly right too. He didn't
Exactly.
deliver the ball into the box that much. But defensively, I thought he was sound as well, and that's something that has been a question in his game for a while now. But he was up against probably one of the better attacks in the league this season, and he shut it down really well.
Absolutely. People in the comment section as well, get involved with the rating system. Let us know. David De Gea, Dallo. I want to touch on the centre backs in a second. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well and like the video, please, if you're tuning in now or you're tuning in later. I think we've currently got 66% people non-subscribers who currently view our content. So if you can hit that subscribe button, we'd be really grateful. Thank you very much. Sam, talk to me about Dallo, please.
Yes, I wanted to give him a 7, but then he did some step overs in their box, and that lost him half a point. Because Diogo, it's not your game, mate. Like, leave that to Anthony or Sancho. Like, it's not. That's not.
Like Phil Neville step overs them.
Yeah, just I don't want to see that again. That wasn't great. In all seriousness, there, all the points you guys touched on, I agree with 6.5.
Cool. Varane and Lisandro, I'm going to give them both a 7 because they absolutely dealt with Harry Kane and Son. And then, like I said, I've already touched on it. They knew when to press. They knew when to drop off. It was aggressive. They just worked really well together. They complement each other so well. Like syrup in coffee. They're just meant for each other. Absolutely meant for each other. Lads, 2 centre-backs, would you agree with 7? What are you squinting there for, Sam? You never had syrup in coffee?
Syrup in coffee. Not about that. Not about that.
Come on, you're an Irish man. Syrup, coffee, caramel latte. No,
he's got whiskey in his coffee. You think of an Irish coffee?
Even better. Oh, they're meant for each other. All right. Well, I'll use a better analogy for yours. Coke and whiskey. Okay, is that all right?
Yeah.
Lisandro and Varane are the Coke and whiskey of the team. How do we think we perform? 7s?
I'd probably give him 7.5. Just simply down to winning the ball back very, very high up. I thought their passing was spot on. Cut between the lines, got it out wide pretty well, and they just looked calm all game. They never looked like shaky at all at any time. I know against Newcastle we looked a bit shaky at times. Against Callum Wilson, maybe should have conceded a penalty, but see none of it tonight. I thought Varane, obviously Rolls Royce as everyone calls him, and Martinez as well, the butcher. He swept everything up, he cleaned everything up. And his passing was spot on. So I think 7.5.
Cool, 7.5. I'd even agree with that. Yeah. The butcher. Oh, I like it. Sam?
Yeah, I've just realised I'm really painting myself as Jeffrey Dahmer. I like whiskey and coke and these glasses. It's not going well, is it?
You said it.
We mentioned butcher.
Yeah, I've got. I don't know if you can see that there. That's a Polaroid camera. That's a Polaroid camera there.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Damn alive in the flesh.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Fuck it.
You know.
I just want to take some. I just want to take some pictures.
Go get the camera. Go get the camera.
Yeah, because that performance had me like, damn her.
Hey.
I do.
I got the danger down.
Yeah, that was a stretch, that one, Adam. You got to be fair. That was a stretch.
I've had enough. I've had enough of the fucking dad jokes in the fucking thing, man.
Clip that one. There's your clip. Yeah, 7.5. Lisandro's passing absolutely ridiculous. I think he might be my buy of the season, and Eriksen, them two. It could go either way at this point. They were both fantastic buys. Varane looks like the Varane that we wanted when we first bought him. with this is the Varane. What?
I was waiting for it. I was going to go, thanks, Jeff.
Cheers, Jeff.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I've just had an idea. There's gonna be a Photoshop job tomorrow. I've just had an idea.
Okay. Save it for viewers.
Yeah.
Are we giving 7.5 to the centre backs?
Yeah.
Let's blitz through these because we've been on for quite long. To be fair, Luke Shaw, Adam. I'll start with you on Luke Shaw. 10.
10 all day. 10.
Oh, shower me.
Oh God. I think.
Oh Jesus Christ.
I think 6.5. A bit like Dallo. Had a similar game to Dallo. Didn't really get the ball into the box that much, but defensively looked sound. I thought he had shaky moments at one point. I think near the start of the first half. Bentancur got in behind a few times. Harry Kane too.
Every analogy in the world's going through my head.
No, of course it is.
He said, in his box and shake it, and I just thought,
I had shaky moments. I was just like this in my head.
Can we just play Malacy already, so I don't have to deal with this every week?
Just Ten Hag, make a sub. Adam can't take it anymore. He's fucking done.
Yeah.
He's had enough.
Oh my God. It's got a nice little fresh haircut as well.
6.5. Luke Shaw, move on. Fucking hell.
Yeah, let's move on. We'll do Fred and Casemiro's. Oh no, we can't because Fred plays better. Casemiro, I'm gonna leave with 6. I'm still worried about him. But average. It might be harsh, but.
Yeah, I thought it was similar to the fullback as well. I thought he won the ball back really, really well. I think Zoe's House put in the comment. He's a player who really, really likes to get the ball forward. He never passes backwards.
Yeah.
Which, it's a bit of a positive. Yeah, he's proactive, and that's what we want to actually see. But I think today he had a few shaky moments, but 6.5 I didn't.
Adam, come on. Stop it.
No, test my resilience. Test my resilience. I don't mind it.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to agree with that assessment. Would you agree with that, Sam?
I thought he was better than you guys seem to thought. I think, there was a couple of passing moments that weren't great, and he gave the ball away. But I think like you said, his forward passing is really good. He made interceptions when needed, even though there wasn't that much threat from Tottenham, really. I think he did his job.
No threat from Tottenham.
So I think he did his job. I think he'll just get better with time. The more games he plays, the more he gets used to the league, the team, he'll get better and he'll iron out those mistakes. It'll come you just got to give him time. I give him 6.5 because I think 6 a bit harsh.
Okay. Fred and Bruno, I think that's kind of the toss-up between man of the match, in my personal opinion. Well, I'll start with Fred. I would give him 7.5. I'll give him. I honestly didn't know what to go for then, because there were still things like you said. He was very, very good, but it was Fred moments where I was like, oh fucking hell, Fred, come on, you've having such a good performance.
I love how we've got terms like a Fred moment, and we know exactly what it is.
Yeah,
we know exactly what it is.
He's just like, and then like right past, and he's fucked it up. He's just like, fucking hell, man.
Do you know what? It makes me love him more. I like him more.
Maybe.
Like, because if he was just perfect, like a robot, you'd be like, yeah, he's good, but like fucking. But he's got character. There's something about it that I find endearing, even though he does my fucking head in at times.
Yeah. He's lovable. He is lovable. I 7.5. Do we agree?
I'd go 7.5. I think he would have got an 8, but some of the mistakes he made was irritating at times. So yeah.
Okay. Adam?
I'd probably give him an 8, simply down to the goal. I think that kind of boosts him up a bit.
It's a deflection.
Thought he hunted them down really, really well.
Yeah,
it was a deflection. We all knew it was a deflection because, let's be honest, we saw his shot in the first half was it with his right foot.
Oh yeah.
I think it nearly hit the poor disabled section.
Did you see Dallo's? That was worse. Jesus Christ! And when he cut in, and he just fucking. Like, what is
Yeah.
that?
Hmm. Well, I'd probably give him the 8 today. I know you're giving the 7.5. We go off
That's
uh,
fair.
2 versus 1. But yeah, 7. We'll go with 7.5 overall, I guess.
Yeah. And then I don't think there'll be any arguments on this. But Bruno Fernandes, man of the match for me. Very, very, very close to getting that second goal. He was literally probably a couple, straight straws of grass offside. I would give him an 8.5 today. Thought he was really good off the ball, especially as well. He was winning. He was playing like a DM and a 10 at the same time. Like, he was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Super impressive against that midfield as well. Like we said, Bissouma, Bentancur, and Højbjerg is a tough midfield for any team against that. Proper packed, compact, and he found spaces in little pockets. Obviously got his goal. Linked up play really well across the pitch. Phenomenal. Best performance from Bruno Fernandes I've seen in a long, and it's refreshing and it's nice because he was a talking point before the game. And yeah, he's sat people down. So 8.5 for me.
Yeah, I think 8.5, well deserved, well taken goal. Second goal too, which could have stood. It was very, very tight. I only saw the one replay. I didn't see the VAR lines. I don't know if it
Yeah.
was a good bit
Did he
off,
show it
but
back, did they?
um,
I was
yeah,
thinking
they
that at
never
the
really
time.
showed it back, they didn't they? Because I think there was a few subs coming on right after it happened as well. But his goal was so well taken. I haven't seen a finish like that for a while.
Each.
Right in the corner of the net, curling around the keeper, an
Yeah.
absolute peach, as you put it. 8.5 today. There seems to be, I've noticed it on Twitter as well. There seems to be a big agenda against the guy
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
and I think he's really, really shut them up today. He has. And one of the criticisms for him is he's given away the ball a lot, but he's also had a 93% passing accuracy tonight. So if you look at that stat alone as well, he's popped up with a goal, could have been 2 goals, and his passing accuracy was actually good, and he also created a few chances too. So my man of the match today, 8.5.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sam?
Yeah, I agree with all the points that you made. He was this is the Bruno. I think I said it already. This is the Bruno I've been wanting to see for a long time. I think this is the sort of impact he can have on a team when Ronaldo's not in the team. This is the impact he had when he first came to the club. Like, you remember how the performances we had before he came in that, even that Wolves game, the first game he played, you saw what he was capable of, and the way he changed the team, and the reason we got Champions League football that season was because of him. So this is the impact he can have on a team when he's on song and he's on form, but he needs to have this consistently. He needs to have these type of performances more. This is what you need to do, especially as a captain now. I know he's vice captain technically, but he's captain because Maguire's not playing. He's not in the team, so he's captain. So this is the performance you need to put in when you're a captain and when you're a focal point of this team. And I think the more he plays without Ronaldo in this team, the better he's going to look and the more confidence he'll have. But yeah, I would have given it to Fred, but Fred obviously got taken off in the match, so I'll have to give it to Bruno. But yeah, Bruno, absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Anthony, I'd give a 7. We've already touched on him slightly. Was great on that right-hand side, caused threats throughout the game. He's thorn in anyone's side. Any team he come up against now, they're going to worry about him on that wing. So yeah, solid performance. Obviously didn't get a goal or an assist, but his overall game, I think, was really good. And he's starting to refine it even more. More little details. I like. Yeah, I'd give him
Nick, just look at your mic. You keep cutting out. Your mic just keeps every other word. It's cutting out. So just have a look at it. Adam, do you want
to? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Anthony today. I said in the chat, and I mentioned it earlier. I thought it was his best game for us so far. He deserved the goal, hit the post, hit just the edge of it, and he's looking more and more like an Iron Robin type of winger, and I'm absolutely in love with it because I can't remember us having a winger like this. And it's just a bit of Brazilian flair, proper Brazilian flair, not the bipolar type. So
yeah.
a bit like Fred. But look, he is someone who has worked under Ten Hag, and Sam, you pointed it out earlier when we talked on him. I think the ceiling is there, and like what's the saying? Like the height of the ceiling, he doesn't know yet. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But it just keeps increasing. He's a very, very talented young winger, and I'm just happy that there hasn't been as much pressure now put on him. It's one thing I noticed. Maybe the Ronaldo, you know, kind
The
of
spotlight
headlines
kind of off him.
is a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spotlight is taking the spotlight off him. So maybe that can be a good thing in a way, like double-sided sword almost like. But here we are. I give him a 7 today. I thought best performance for us.
Agree with that, Sam?
Yeah, 7.5 for me. I thought he was really, really good. Constant threat. Like we said, touched on earlier, he's only going to get better and develop his talent and become that sort of all-round threat. In a minute, some of his bits of his game are a bit limited. I did hear a story. They did what did he call it? It's like a fan day. Basically, kids who are suffering from like life-threatening illnesses or like debilitating illnesses, they go to Old Trafford. It's the first time they've been able to do it since like before the pandemic. They go to Carrington and they meet the players. And Anthony was one of the players that was at this thing. And there was a kid there. I'm not sure what illness he had. Like, he didn't sort of go into the article. And he spoke to this kid for about an hour in broken English. He's still learning English. In broken English, spoke to this kid. Was so like moved by his story. Went to his car, got the match-worn shirt from the Everton game, and gave it to this kid. Like, so he's like his class on the pitch and his class off the pitch. Like, I love shit like that. Like these players who give a shit about the club, who give a shit about the fans, who give a shit about it. That's what I like from this club. Players like him, players like Ander Herrera, Lisandro Martinez, he fucking gets it. Like, players like that get it. Patrice Evra, he played for us and he played for 2 other teams after us. And he played for teams before us, but he still refers to himself as us. He's a United guy, so I love that.
Old Trafford is home.
Yeah, that's what I love about that. And Anthony's just fitting right into that mold, and it's great. It's great to see.
Well, it goes down to personality, and when I always say with scouting, I'm not going to dive too much, but it's looking at the personality, what kind of person they are when you bring them into the team. They can have all the ability in the world, but if they're like Balotelli, then they're not going to get, you know what I mean? They're not going to have that consistency. Anthony has actually come from poverty. If you read his story and see where he's come from, like the favelas in Brazil, where he had no food on certain days, like he has literally come from the slums. So he will have the utmost respect for them kind of situations. And you got to love it. You got to admire it.
Story.
Yeah, exactly. Sancho, I don't want to give anyone below a 6. I'll give Sancho a 6.5. I'm being kind there, though. I would give him a 6, but because we won 2-0, I'd give him a 6.5. Yeah, you agree with that?
Yeah, I give him a 6 too. I mentioned it earlier. Probably our best player in terms of controlling the ball inside the box, but we don't see it enough from him. Hopefully, something that he can work on, and just less of the back passing to Luke Shaw, the left full, or back into Bruno. Just like eye up your man, run at him, and try and just skill past him. And you never know. You could have won a penalty at the weekend. He should have won a penalty at the weekend, actually, doing that. And that's what more you want to see more of that. So I think probably 6.5. Yeah, I don't want to be harsh. We won today. We're in a good mood.
Sam?
Yeah, I'd probably give him a 6. Like, I don't want to be harsh on the guy because like he's got all the potential in the world, but I just think he's lacking in confidence in his own abilities. Like Adam said, if he commits a defender, he may not win. Like, he may not beat him, but he might get a penalty out of it, like Adam said. Or he might beat him, and then you're in a position to either cut the pass back or take a shot. Like, I don't mind if players have a go and try and dribble past the players. If you mess it up, like, it happens. Like, it's an opportunity. Like, what frustrates me is like getting into the space and then passing backwards. That's what frustrates me. So, yeah, if he can sort of do more of that and less of that, then he'll be on to a winner. But yeah, for me, he wasn't at his scintillating best, but he wasn't awful by any means either.
I think people are starting to notice it a little bit more now because you've got Anthony, who is like terrifying defenders and wing backs. And when defenders come up against him now in the league, like, it's going to be a tough night tonight. When they come up against Sancho, they're like, he's not going to run past me. He's not going to try it. He's just going to cut back. And maybe there's a couple of triangles and he might get in behind like that. But there's more threat with Anthony at the minute as it stands. Marcus Rashford is also a weird one to rate because I thought he did a lot of things good. Got into the right positions. As we know, he's a threat with his pacing behind. But his finishing, as we've already touched on, let him down. I did think Lloris had a great night, though, even though he conceded 2 goals. I thought he made some great saves and was probably their man of the match, in fairness. But
always United.
Rashford, Pardon?
Every time United plays a goalkeeper, they have a fucking worldie. every fucking time.
Yeah. I don't know what
Yeah,
to
I
rate
said
that.
the best
Genuinely.
goalkeeper in the world. Best goalkeeper in the world is the away goalkeeper at Old Trafford
Yeah.
every 2 weeks. It's the
Yeah,
truth.
absolutely. It's funny
Every
because
time it happens.
when we had Devo on yesterday, he was talking about Lloris one. Yeah, I don't blah blah blah, and I bet he watched that performance and he's like, "Fucking hell, he's done all right there, isn't it?" Rashford, though, I don't know what to rate him. Genuinely, I'll leave it to you guys because I don't have a clue what to give him.
The fucking ammonia goalkeeper. He was like the second goalkeeper. He not even played this season, and he had the best game of his life. It's fucking like it's just typical of United, isn't it?
Yeah. What are we giving Rashford, lads?
I gave Sancho a 6.5, and I feel Rashford
7?
deserved more because he done more.
I'd say 7.
And yeah, so I'd probably give him the 7. If he had the goal, you could nearly argue, up there with man of the match as well. That's all he was missing for in his game. Pressed really, really well from up front. He got in positions to actually score once or twice. Should have had at least one goal anyway, if I'm being honest. That first half chance, I think Fred put him through. Should have been a goal. But look, work on your finishing between now and the Chelsea game, because after the Ronaldo incident, let's be honest, he's going to be starting up front.
Yeah, I don't think Ronaldo's going to be playing that game. Yeah, absolutely. 7. Are we all in agreement with 7 then?
Yeah. 7. Before we go, there's 28 people in the chat still. You're all mental. It's 20 past 11. And I've got work in the morning. There's 25 people in the chat. Like, thank you so much.
On a school night.
There's a question for Zoe's Media House. Does this win give confidence for Chelsea? If we win that, we go 4th.
Well, Chelsea drew tonight. I think they drew 0-0 with Brentford or Bournemouth, was it? I think it might have been Brentford. So yeah, look, they've got threats just like Chelsea have, but if we play like we did tonight, I've got fucking full confidence that we can beat Chelsea. I think Chelsea will watch that performance tonight, actually, and they'll be like, we've got a game in our hands if they turn up like that. It is at Stamford Bridge though, isn't it? It's away.
Yeah.
Which is always tough. But look, if you really want to know, tune in for the preview on Friday. We'll have the preview for Chelsea at 6:30, 7 o'clock Friday, and then obviously we'll be live again an hour before kickoff for the watch along. So make sure you tune in for that. It'll be the FPL roundup and the new show tomorrow as well. So hit that subscribe button, like the video, and yeah, thank you for everyone who's been tuning in, especially throughout the watch along as well. You don't have to spend your time with us, but you do. You tune in and you put your comments in the thing. So thank you, really appreciate it. Thank you to the lads for coming on again. Like you just said, I know it's late. We've got work tomorrow, but look, we've got a great result. We've scored a couple of goals, and that's, as United fans, that's all you can ask for. So we will see you in the next one. Thank you very much again. Take care. Have a lovely rest of the week. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. Peace.